When Paul talks about the unity between Jews and Gentiles in chapter 2, it's not as simple as just ancient history lessons. He's showing us what it looks like when God breaks down the dividing walls between people who were never supposed to get along, and yet in him have found family. What does that mean for political divisions in our families? What does that mean for workplace tensions? What does that mean for how we navigate cultural differences in community? When Paul talks about marriage in chapter 5, and I know this passage makes a lot of people uncomfortable, he's not giving us a hierarchy chart. He's painting a picture of how the relationship between Christ and the church gets embodied in the most intimate human relationship we have. What does sacrificial love actually look like when you're stressed out about money? What does mutual submission mean when you're both exhausted from work and kids? When Paul talks about raising children in chapter 6, is it as simple as be nice to your kids? Or is he also talking about how the next generation learns to live in the overlap of heaven and earth by watching how their parents navigate that overlap in relationship with one another and with them as children? How do we parent in a way that shows our kids that following Jesus isn't about rules and regulations, but participating in God's mission to restore the world? And when Paul talks about work, whether you're an employee or an employer, maybe he's saying that your Monday through Friday isn't separate from your spiritual life, as if there is such a thing. It seems as if he's saying that it's part of how you serve Christ and love your neighbor. So how does that change how I approach sales calls? How does that change how you approach whatever work God has given you to spend your time doing?